Hello there, my name is PolishLynx. Welcome back to Serafina's Saga again. Let's continue. Lord Reuben, fire! The voice is familiar and slightly pinched with anger. When Reuben turns around, I finally realize who it is. Scout Nicholas Perrin, I see that you know my little chariot here. How kind of you to come all this way to collect her. Nicholas ignores me completely, expending all his energy on glaring at Reuben instead. Is Nicholas on edge because something bad happened with Bellatrix, or does he hate Reuben? Unfortunately, both possibilities are quite likely. I came because I heard there was trouble at the river gate. Commander Bellatrix asked me to assess the situation. I didn't know you, or Fair for that matter, were involved. I was loading crates. I was loading crates on the boats, and then... Nothing here to assess, because a bunch of filthy peasants threw insults and rocks from the opposite side of the river, but failed to make a dent on the transaction. I assure you, all of Kalia's gold, despite everything, and I expect my brother is very eager to receive it, so if you excuse us. I'll help you with the bags, Lord Reuben, but first I'd like to speak to Fire for a moment. Yeah, sir. I hurry away from Reuben, eager for the chance to speak to Nicholas freely. As soon as we stand at a safe distance. Thank the gods you're here, Nicholas. If I had to spend a moment longer with Reuben. You seem to be getting along with quite nicely. From where I was standing. No, I wasn't. We don't have time to talk about this. I don't think I've ever seen Nicholas so upset. Does he think I enjoyed acting nice to a fool like Reuben? Listen, I was able to weave a pretty good sub-story for Bellatrix, but you need to make yourself scarce. She's on your scent and nothing in the world would make her happier than catching you right now. Understand? Yeah. Why aren't you wearing a helmet like I told you to? I couldn't find one. Besides, do you really expect me to wear one all day? I expect you to listen to my advice and take this situation seriously. If the wrong people find out about you right now, your life is ruined. And so is mine, if you give a shit about that. Of course I do, Nicholas. I feel duly chastised and also uncomfortably aware of Reuben watching us from afar. I struggle to stay calm as I reply. I'll try to find a helmet soon, for both our sakes and also for Papa's. Yeah. Ghost tone shifts all of a sudden. He looks away from me, then fidgets nervously. What's wrong? There's something other than Bellatrix bothering you? Isn't there, is it? Is it about what happened earlier today? No, of course not. Isn't Bellatrix enough to bother me? Gods! Listen, I'm sorry. I'm so anxious right now, but we just need to be careful. I'm going to help Reuben with these bags, because if he's headed to Kalia's throne room, he'll probably run into Bellatrix too. You should go to the arena where you started training yesterday. Practice your combat and get a damn helmet from the armory while we're there. And if I don't see you again soon, just focus on keeping your head down for the next few days. If that's possible, with a chaperone like Reuben. The next few days? I had hoped that this escape from Reuben was permanent, and I certainly didn't expect to be training so long. Serafina, your initiation could take weeks, maybe longer. I'm going to do what I can to get you a different chaperone. I can't imagine why Jesus put you with Reuben in the first place. No one even knows whether Reuben is really a Geridar. He claims to be Tristan Geridar's bastard son, but he hasn't even proven it. For some reason, King Kalia seemed to like him, so the rest of us had to tolerate him in the meantime. Reuben will play with you like a new toy for as long as he possibly can. Please please him and he will cast you off this castle. Make him too happy and he will never pull his clothes from you. Just be careful. Nicholas turns to go, but I reach out and grab his arm. Nicholas, I won't let Papa rot in some dungeon while I'm stuck moving crates around. Arken can wait, trust me. There's a grim certainty to his voice that makes my stomach turn, but before I can ask for more information, he shrugs off my grip and walks back to Reuben. After Nicholas and Reuben exchange a few words, Reuben scowls at me from far. I expect he hadn't finished playing with me for today. So before he can come up with some reason to make me stay, I turn and hurry back through the castle. The next few days are as grim as to be expected with Reuben as my supervisor. I get a helmet from the army and wear it a few times, initially because I want to be cautious, but I am especially pleased to discover that the helmet annoys Reuben significantly, and he talks to me a lot less if I'm wearing it. For the most part, the tasks Reuben gives me are manual. I deliver messages, buy items from the castle market, clean his room, or tend to his clothes. But as trivial as the duties are, I do slowly learn more about the castle and the people within it. I even stand guard a few times while Reuben talks to nobles from other houses. I see the way Reuben tries to befriend those above him, doing favors, offering compliments, while belittling those he considers beneath him. He's a practiced liar and willing to do anything for power. I suspect that many of the nobles he converses with are no different, and I begin to understand why Papa warned me about the greed and treachery of most humankind. I don't see Nicholas or Jesse around for quite some time, and I find myself accepting this miserable and indefinite servitude under Lord Reuben. But one day, just when I think he's going to send me to the market for more flowers, he stops and turns to look at me with a grave expression. Take the damn helmet off! I want to look at your beautiful face while I say this. I find it hard to take that as a compliment while his gaze gropes me greedily. I peel off my helmet and shake out my thick red hair. No! 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 What the fuck are you doing? Put that helmet on! No. I still myself and stare back at him with a subtle but ice-cold stare I've perfected while in his company. Much better. So then, I expect you've heard the famous legends about the key that opens the grand keep of this castle. Eh? A foreigner brought the key here to the castle about 17 years ago, claiming she got it from Norcidia, the Isle of Gods. Before then, people weren't even sure it existed, and no one knew what sort of treasure the grand keep might contain. Every noble in the castle scrambled to win her favor and therefore acquire the key. Some believe that the key should go to the queen-elect, Nandy Elborn. The queen failed to win the foreigner's favor, but according to the stories, one man did succeed. Do you know who won the key, Cherry Tart? Stop calling me Cherry Tart, no idea. No idea? Sounds like a mystery. Not a mystery at all, if you have the brains to figure it out. Like myself, for instance, you don't have a brain. I know who got away with the key all those years ago. I highly suspect that it's still in his possession. And you're going to help me get it from him. Yeah, for the last few days he has been rather busy, but I think that now is a good time to approach him. I don't want you to do anything other than stand in the background and look pretty as usual, Cherry. I hear this was quite a temper, but that spear of yours might help keep him in check. Anyway, I doubt it will come to that. I hear he likes redheads, and your body's any man's time, so if nothing else you will be a threat for his eyes. Got that fair? Come along then. Reuben definitely seems nervous. The fact he actually called me by name is especially disconcerting. I'm rather terrified myself, but I'm curious to find out who Reuben thinks might have the key. At the very least, this conversation is bound to be more interesting than the others to which he has subjected me. So I take a deep breath, put my helmet back on, and follow him onward. We make our way through the castle to the Jardar Tower. I have been there a few times now, because Reuben's own room is on the ground level. Even from below, the Jardar Tower greatly impresses me, and practically blinds me with its dazzling brilliance. The rocks of the tower are polished and smooth, more so than any other section of the castle, and they also seem to sparkle in sunlight. I asked Reuben about it once, who proudly explained that his father, Tristan Jeridar, had the ability to make diamonds out of almost any earthen material. After he became king, he had developed a mortar full of diamond dust that workers added to the outer layer of the castle. This time, however, Reuben leads me further up and into the tower. We pass his room and ascend a spiraling staircase. The inner heights of the tower continue to dazzle me. Everywhere I turn, I see bright, shiny or sparkling materials, gold candelabras, crushed velvet carpets, jeweled furnishings, and shimmering curtains made of the material I now recognize as silk. My heart continues racing along with my thoughts, so we are going to see another Jardar. The notion both excites me and frightens me. Anyone else here would likely be a close relation to the king himself, and I gather that King Kallias has a very small family. I'm still trying to think it all through when Reuben enters a small hallway and stops by a bedroom door. He is trembling violently, but then he takes a deep breath, swishes back his hair and knocks on the door. I stop breathing when I hear heavy footsteps approach from within the room. Perhaps part of me already senses who I will see on the other side. But even when the door whooshes open, at first I deny it. I see a large muscular man wearing his slim trousers and a green shirt of silk. His long yellow hair is tied back with a ribbon. But there is no mistaking the face that frowns back at Reuben, nor the voice that now speaks to him. What do you want? A bright and sunny day to you, Arken, or may I call you Uncle? You're Reuben, right? You claim to be Tristan's bastard son. You remember correctly, but I do not just claim to be Tristan's son. I can assure you that I most certainly am. You're old enough that I would have been around when Tristan started you, and for as long as I knew him, he was a complete little idiot around women. Even as Papa speaks, his familiar voice rumbling through me like a message, I cannot believe that it's him. Not only does he look completely different in his clean and fancy clothes, but the way he talks makes him seem like a completely different man. Besides, why is he here in the Jardel Tower, with his very own room for above Reuben's? I thought he was the Grand Traitor. I thought I would find him wallowing in a dungeon somewhere. I don't understand anything. I must be trembling and breathing loudly enough for Papa to notice, because he looks at me suddenly. I find the urge to turn and run. Even with my own new outfit and the helmet covering most of my face, I'm afraid he will recognize me. For just a moment his gaze locks with mine, and his eyes narrow uncertainly. This is my squire, the lovely fair. Don't mind that sharp pair of hers. You're in much more danger of being bewitched if she takes off that unseemly helmet. I can't believe Reuben would speak of me that way to Papa, but to my great relief, Arken responds with similar irritation. I asked you what do you want, Reuben, and you still haven't answered. What do I want? Oh please, uncle, you know we Jardars can't easily answer that question. Whatever we want, we will never fully possess because we will never supplant you. Perhaps what we want is to strive and will sleep for that perfect. Arken starts to shut the door in Reuben's face. To my surprise, Reuben reacts quickly, slamming his hand against the wood before the door can shut fully. He strains to meet Arken's strength, who is barely pushing at all, but manages all the same. Listen, Arken, I know you have the key to the Grand Keep, and I know that about Queen Nadia's daughter. Arken stopped pushing for a long while he sighed. Then at last, he pulls the door back open. You can come in. Reuben let out a little breath of relief. He starts to walk inside. But as I make to follow, Arken blocks my path, so suddenly I ram into him. Somehow the crude physical contact, carrying a small hint of violence, makes me all too aware of the vast gap now between us. We are strangers, and not only because I hide behind a helmet. We are strangers because I no longer know the man before me, and the Papa I so hope to rescue has either vanished completely or never really existed in the first place. I didn't invite you, Squire. You have nothing to fear from that one. She's under my complete control. Aren't you my little chertard? My gut reaction would be to knock Reuben over the head for saying something like that, but when I meet his eyes, I understand why he wants me to answer. Reuben is scared, terrified really. He wants me to go inside with him because he's afraid of being alone with Arken. After all, the people here do call him Grand Traitor. No? I'm sick of Reuben assuming I'll do whatever he wants, and I certainly don't want to act like his servant in front of Papa, even if Papa doesn't know who I am. I don't want to speak in case Arken recognizes my voice, so I just shake my head and take a step back. Well, looks like your little cherry tart won't be joining us. Come on then, Reuben. Right! Reuben's wearing that silly grin on his face, but before he goes inside, I glimpse the seething hatred hiding underneath. You've disappointed me, Fair, very much indeed. For a moment I'm stricken by my own stupidity. Why did I just play along so they let me go inside with them? I have to hear what they say to each other, I just have to. I look around desperately. Outside the window, I see a small balcony outside of Arken's room, but I will have to climb across the stones to reach it. I've climbed plenty of trees in the jungle. Climbing these stones will be more difficult, but I think I can do it. I have to do it. If I fall, I might die. But if I just leave now, without even trying to understand why Papa is here. I hide my spear and helmet in the corner, because I know they will only hinder me. Then I take a deep breath and climb out the window. And we will know what will happen in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed that one and see you then. Bye!